So could you talk us through the new set, the new layout? How did it come to be, and what's it all about? All this stuff around you.
Well, it's all about. I mean, chefs are on tour quite a lot now. So you've got different chefs and different cooks are on tour as well. So it's not new. What is different about this is a show. It's not like here's another dish, or you're not sat there on a stool and you're talking about your life and none of that sort of stuff. It's literally fast paced. It is relentless. So we've got a new set. We've got a purpose-built set. So amazing quick hobs. One on either side. So as I do one dish, I go over there. But the whole thing's video linked and everything. Everything's quite interactive this time. We've shot videos for it. The two ovens are working. The fridge and freezer works. The water works. So everything works. It's not like a TV set where you drain it off and the water comes pouring out the bottom of it because you empty the bucket. But it's it's pretty cool. These garage doors are off my garage doors at home. Not the garage doors, but a picture of them. But it kind of works, yeah.
And you've got Ross Kemp involved, Mark Knopfler from Dire Straits.
The list, I've just pulled in favours for this one. So we've got Ross Kemp, who's a good friend. So he's done The Voice of God, brilliant, very funny as well. And then we've got Matt Knopfler from Dire Straits, just to give me a thank you and a good luck message before the end, which I need it. And then we've been filming for the last 10 months. Chefs from all around the UK, and we've got about 150 to 200 of them taking part in the ending. So that's just part of it. And then amongst all that, we've done shot videos for it, and I mean, it's a tremendous amount of stuff.
And you've put the guitars are back.
Guitars are back, slightly more complicated, slightly more difficult. So it's taken me more learning. Before I had the acoustic guitar, this is a little bit more different, as I found out when I walked in yesterday, plugged it in. It's a bit different to playing in your kitchen and in your lounge, and then they plug it into this speaker system and it goes, oh my God, it freaks you out. But yeah, literally I walk out at the end of the night, plug it in, and we're live.
And you said before, when you were practicing the first song, you had all the calluses were there, your fingers were in bits.
100%.
Are they okay now? Or
well,
any horror
slightly
stories?
better on your fingers, isn't it, really? But the problem is with that, any little mistake just gets amplified. But yeah, I'm kind of, not as nervous as I was last time, but probably more so because Mark's given us this good luck message. So it's the guy who wrote it, the guy who performed it, and I don't want to make a mess of it, to be honest. But I'm going to do my best.
A lot of people view you as the rock star chef. I imagine with the guitars, your love of like bikes, cars, and stuff. I mean, how does that sit with you?
It's good fun. You know what I mean? That's the good fun part of it. I mean, the thing about it is, cookery's got to be fun. I think for me to stand up and just show you like a normal demonstration, it can be quite boring. And this has to be made into a show. So you're relying on a lot of other people. You're relying on the tech guys, you're relying on the lighting guys, sound, video guys, all the guys in charge of the whole setup, the guys who build the sets, everything. It's accumulation of a ton of work, an awful lot of work by a lot of people. And you're just doing your bit. But without all the rest of them, it doesn't work. It doesn't turn into a show. So I try my best this way. And on the basis of the last tour, it kind of worked, and now we've just taken it up about 5 steps further.
And you're starting tomorrow night, and you previously said that the only feedback you've had is from your mum and your girlfriend.
My mum and my girlfriend were home, and I said, can I just show you this? Because we edited this great video, this fun thing. So I literally played it from my laptop. I had a little amp and plugged my guitar in, and I was just messing around trying to follow the laptop thing, and that is the only people who have seen it yet until about 2 hours time.
Do they have much input on what you do?
Well, it's too late now.
Did they have for this show? Do you take from them?
Yeah, I mean, he kind of thinks. My mother said shoes, get your hair cut and shoes, because when I'm sat in the audience and you walk out the front, I want to see you've got clean shoes on. So that's the shoes and your hair. That's about it, really.
And you've had some troll messages picked out.
Yes.
That you're going to be showing to the audience. For a start, how do you feel when you browse through social media and you see some of these things?
Well, I never really looked at it, to be honest with you. I can't be bothered with it, to be honest with you. I do social media, and that's part of people's daily lives, isn't it now? But I never really looked into it, and it wasn't until one of my team turned around and said, we're trying to think of something to coordinate one of the parts of the show. And they said, well, rather than do all these old stuff that you've done before and old cookbooks that you had and stuff like that, why don't you go the opposite way and go really modern? I said, what are you talking about? I said, well, there's this thing in America called mean tweets. I think it's quite funny. You could read out some of the comments that people think about yourself. So I put it out there to the social media team. I said, right, just have a look. I didn't mention that many or that harsh, but it's some of the ones that are hilarious, absolutely hilarious, very funny. So we've picked out a few each night, and no doubt there'll be a few more over the 4 weeks that we're on the road. But they're quite funny.
Definitely, and
you've got to take the fun out of
yeah,
yourself. You can't, you know, but it is quite funny.
And a lot of people are loving the American tour. How did you find that? I mean, and how did the Americans adapt to you?
Well, the
Yorkshireman.
The Americans like the Brits, don't they? I think it's they do like the Brits. They love everything about the UK, and vice versa with me. I think America's amazing. I think to do that tour was kind of a risk in terms of we looked at France, and it was kind of the guys at ITV said, look, we trust you, kind of, and off I went, and the highest ratings we've ever had, I think, for a show over the 25 years I've been doing this for a hobby, as I call it. I still kind of pinch yourself, really. I can't believe that it gets such high ratings, and to be in between Coronation Street, for me to go back home and speak to the family. I mean, that's it. You've made it now. You're in between, not in Corrie, then you properly made it, but in between Corrie on a Friday night. But that was amazing, and we've just finished a UK trip. Okay. So literally, we just finished that on Friday last week.
Is that going to be as long as the current series? That is going to be as long.
It goes out in February and then goes out again in August. But we're going to show a little clip of it here, the first time anybody's ever seen it. So we'll gauge the reaction of the clip, whether or not it's going to work or not.
And so is this potentially going to be a rolling thing, another country every year, tour?
Well, I don't know. I think the tour thing, I think the timing was right. I think it works. You've got great people involved in it. And to me, it's a way of giving something back as well. Not just the fact that hopefully people have a great night, but I decided on my way in this morning, how can I give something back to people? So I decided to give away tickets, because it was the Michelin Star Awards last night. I thought I'd give away 21 nights in 21 Michelin Star restaurants.
It's very generous of you.
Yeah, I'm going to pick them. Yeah. But these are places where I think you should go and eat. So we're going to pick a couple out of the audience each night and give them, this is just a way of thank you from me. So
that's very nice.
I don't know. I just think that, I think hopefully people like it. But.
Now, one of the things my girlfriend always says to me when we watch your programmes is, or she mentions how liberal you are with the use of butter.
Well, we've got plenty on this show as well. So.
Is that something? Do you never look at what you're putting in the food and you think, I'm going to enjoy the dish rather than worry about all the calories and all the
I've got double cream in front of me. I've got full fat milk. I've got cheese. I've got butter, and that's just for one of the side orders of this tour. But I like food. I've always been surrounded by food. I was brought up on a farm, working on a farm. We were producing pigs. So I think to understand and to appreciate food, you have to understand how hard it is to produce. So if you went down that route first, then you look at food as an ingredient, and that's why I'm passionate about the ingredients. It's that if you want to eat that, that's cool, but if you want to watch Weight Watchers and that kind of stuff, this is probably not for you.
I was going to ask your opinion.
Oh, you can have a little bit of it. No, I'm all for it. I mean, I literally, this is social media, the power of social media. I did look on social media, and then every comment was fat, and mainly aimed at me. So I decided I lost 1.5 stone, and no doubt I'll probably lose another stone on this trip, because it's knackering. But I do like my food. And
you don't eat it though. You give it to the team.
Oh, no. The guys they'll eat all this. Yeah, there's steak. There's chicken. There's 2 desserts. I mean, I made one earlier. That's gone. Don't know where it's gone, but it's gone. But yeah, the guys can eat it. Nothing gets wasted.
And you mentioned recently as well that your mum's put a bet on you with the Top Gear contract. You sat on a bike there as well. Have you been given the contract?
No, I haven't been. They haven't had a phone call. Nothing. So I like my cars. Cars are a big hobby of mine, and I love my cars. And we shot actually bits and pieces for this with a good mate of mine, Jason Plato. So we're doing that. We include it in the Saturday show as well for a bit of fun. But that's where it'll stay, just a little bit of fun and as a hobby. I think to do it as a job, I think, Top Gear is unbelievable, and what it's achieved around the world is unbelievable. So you can't better that, can you?
No, not really.
I'll stick to cooking.
And when you did your own show, people saw it maybe as a bit of a risk. You're leaving the successful Saturday Kitchen. You've gone and done your own thing. Do you look back at it and think, I definitely made the right decision there? It's gone from strength to strength. Or what are your views on that?
I remember Evan said it was a massive deal at the time. I said it wasn't big deal at the time. It was just, you get to a point, I mean, he's done the same thing with him. You get to a point, you go, can I take this any further? I remember Sir Terry Wogan, when he came on the show, he said, no, when it's time to go. And I knew it was time to go. And that's kind of weird. On the outside, people look at it and go, why do you do that? But you know in yourself when it's time to go and pass the reins to somebody else. And now I've gone off on a different track and a different gear, and I'm enjoying it. So I'm enjoying it just the same.
You don't need to leave your home either. So.
No, and I could walk out in my garage. But to be fair, I absolutely loved it. I loved the 10 years I was doing it. And I love the 20 odd years I was doing it for the Beeb as well. But, you know, it's another chapter. And another chapter changes and you go off on one. Who's to say that I wouldn't do something and go back and do something different? You know, I'm not getting any older. I'm not getting any younger. So it's just, right now, it feels like you're in a good place.
And you've gone back to your home where you're broadcasting from, but you've got other celebrity chefs who are also doing the homely thing. Gordon Ramsay's done it, Jamie Oliver is doing it. What is with that kind of homely?
Well, I think you travel all the way around the world, and it comes down to ingredients for me. I remember I'm a big gin lover, and I remember thinking, where can you find the best gin? And that got me thinking about the show, and could we make a show with this? Could we make a show about lamb? Could we make the show about ingredients? And some fascinating people out there, and great people on camera, brilliant people on camera. And so that's why we went, and I found myself last Friday finishing the show upside down in a Spitfire over the Isle of Wight, doing the opening titles. Going, this is the most surreal thing ever. But hopefully people like it because it's celebrating everything about this country, and we've got some amazing stuff in here. And I think with Brexit and all this stuff that's going to happen, you need to support them.
Definitely. And when you cook, if you could give someone like me, I've got a fiance, what's a good romantic meal to cook for someone?
What's a good romantic meal?
Yeah.
Well, you start off with this, probably the best thing, I think. Start off with a steak, you know. A proper steak. I'm sure she's not vegetarian.
She's not?
No, it's a good start. But steak, mac and cheese. It's a dish that I got from an American chef, amazing chef called Wolfgang Puck. But the secret with cooking a steak is a stock cube. You season it with a stock cube. It makes it taste amazing. So you literally seal it off in a pan, sprinkle over beef stock cube. Don't go putting fish stock cubes on it, otherwise she'll kick off. But a little bit of beef stock cube, put it in the oven for 20 minutes and serve it with mac and cheese.
It's a good hearty meal.
Off the charts. Off the charts.
And speaking of who you've cooked for, who's your favourite person that you've cooked for? Is there anyone that sticks in the mind?
I think out of everybody, I think my family, because I very rarely get a chance to go home. So anytime you do get to go home, on this tour I'm staying in hotels. The minute we go to York, I'm staying with my mum. I'm at home.
Yeah.
So she's cooking me roast chicken with proper gravy, none of that jus. She's making proper gravy, and I'm going to have a bacon sandwich in the morning before I depart, and then go off for the rest of the tour.
And is it because of your tour? Because away from your show, actually, everyone's like, oh, we know James, he's like such a regular, down-to-earth guy. But away from that, you're quite a private person. Is that why you are that private? Because
I like my family, and I like keeping them separate. I think accumulation of a lot of things. I think by doing this for a living, and you've done it for 25 years now, I think you speak to a lot of people and they say, how do you do longevity? Take for instance, Mike Knopfler and all those sort of guys. You have to keep it separate. You have to keep something separate. Something's got to be private. If you just open it all out, when it all turns, there's nowhere for you to hide. And I think that's really important in life, that you can get in your car, you can go back home, and that's your time. And I think people need to appreciate that, and they also need to have that in their lives. I think if you open it out to everything, you've got nothing. To me, and that's where I am. I'm very protective over them. Yeah. And I always will be.
Yeah. And if we go back to the show, is there anything from the previous tour or when you've done live cooking demonstrations before that went quite badly wrong?
Oh, there's quite a few things that go wrong. We set fire to quite a lot of stuff. Probably not on here, because we used to have gas stoves before on the first tour, and they've obviously realised that we set fire to too many things, so they give me electric ones. But there is quite a few things that go wrong. I'm hoping not the end bit with the guitar, but we did have last time on the tour, we plugged the guitar in and the amp blew.
Helpful.
So we were running around trying to do that. But there's lots of things can go wrong. You know, this is live, this is a show, and there's a lot going on. There's all the tech guys, all the stuff the VTs have got is set up. And that's why it's important to do these sort of days and rehearse and rehearse and rehearse. Not necessarily for the food. We're not cooking 15 steaks, but I think to make it a show, that's what makes all the difference. It's not a cooking demo. This is a show.
But you can't rehearse the audience, and if anyone like heckles you, even if it's
but that's the power of having 25 years experience. We can.
So you've got enough comebacks.
Well, fingers crossed. I know a few mates of mine who are comedians as well, so I've learned a few learned a few tricks of the trade. Yeah.
And what are you most looking forward to on this run?
I think the days and going out to places. Like I said, I've just travelled the length and breadth of the UK for this TV show, and I'm going to go back and do it again. This time very, very different, but this time out there meeting the people, and this is my thank you for the amazing 25 years.